Again. Alright. Hold on, I gotta fix my camera again, as usual. As usual. We can't have another week without another freaking technical difficulty. But anyway, as I'm fixing that, what's going on? It's another week, another edition of DylanLasagna Live. So, how's everyone doing this week? Today, it's gonna be a little bit of a different week. No AEW, no WWE. I mean, there's gonna be a little bit of WWE, because, you know, wrestling, is always a thing. It's gonna be a little bit different. I always say that every week because this is a variety stream after all. But as I'm fixing this, today we're just going to be talking about my unpopular gaming opinions. Yeah, that's right. I said it. My unpopular gaming opinions. Hold on, let me fix this 1 second. I see the problem. It wasn't plugged in. Facecam wasn't plugged in. Now let's see if people can see me fine. But anyway, let me get into this week's random tidbits. As I continue to set things up here, I actually just got home, by the way. There we go. There we go. All right, can everyone see me fine? Sorry for the weird, again, another weird ass start here to the show. But anyway. Today, in case for those of you just coming in, welcome to DylanLasagna Live. This is episode number 26. So if you missed all the previous episodes, I recommend you all check out the main channel, DylanLasagna. It's in the link to all my previous. It's in the link on my channel on DylanLasagna Live, as well as in the description of all these streams. But anyway, let's get into this week's random tidbits. It's a segment going into like the main, before we go into the main like stuff, the main beef. So this week's random tidbits, these are like one or two or maybe even more like smaller things like that were in the news that I personally found interesting. So this week's random tidbits that I found interesting was THQ Nordic. They revealed the deluxe and collector's edition, to my surprise, for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. For those of you who don't know about Bikini Bottom, that was released in 2003, 2004, in a announced the week before E3, and they're gonna release a deluxe and collector's edition, which is called the Shiny and the Fun Edition. I mean, the Fun Edition is properly named, and I don't know about the Shiny Edition, but I don't know where that name came from. But anyway, I'll get into my opinions for a second, in just a second, but I want to detail first what both editions include. The Shiny Edition includes like an 8-inch over 20 centimeter SpongeBob figurine with a golden spatula and a flexible tongue. So it's like you can actually play around with the tongue, I guess. They're showing that in the commercial and like in that trailer, and I found that really weird. But I also get wall stickers, 6 lithographs, tennis socks. You get the game, obviously. I'll get into price later. And then the Fun Edition, you know, F is for friends, you do stuff together, U is for you and me. I should probably stop singing that because I might get copyrighted. So the Fun Edition includes everything else that was included in the Shiny Edition, plus a 7-inch and 18 centimeter figure of Patrick, and an 8-inch by 20 centimeter figure of Sandy, and a set of Tiki key rings. So if you want an exact picture of each, so let me pull it up here on my screen here. Let me go to, there we go. Okay, so there's the Battle for Bikini Bottom Shiny Edition. So there's that one. There's SpongeBob sticking his tongue out. and then let me go to the fun edition, which includes actually a lot of stuff here. I personally like the fun edition here. The problem here is though, the big problem was the price point. The big price point. My God, it's big. The shiny edition retails for $149, and the fun edition retails for $300. I personally think the prices are really overkill. It's like, it's too expensive. It's like, yes, you're including 3 figures in the fun edition and tiki rings, but it's like, really? $300? It's like, I could go buy a PlayStation 4 to like complement my Nintendo Switch right now and get more value out of it. I mean, I do like SpongeBob. I really love the show, but it's just like, for this, like, maybe it's not this edition. These collector's items are not for me, even though I'm a SpongeBob fan. But still, I think you should price it fairly. It should still be priced fairly. I mean, again, I'm no merch maker, but how much does a lithograph go by? How much do wall stickers go by? I mean, how much wall stickers do you get in this? Let me pull that up from Nintendo Everything. It doesn't say how much wall stickers you get, but you get 6 lithographs, and from the looks of it, looks like you get only 3 wall stickers, which don't even look that big. And you also get the set of tiki rings, which look like 5 of them, and then the lithographs. You get the tennis socks, but it's like you can go get socks at Walmart, but it's like, still, how much do all these, aside from the figures, which are probably going to be like a big chunk of the cost, but it's like, do these items add up, like, to make up the $300 cost? Maybe these figures are like $50 each, so it's like $150 plus the $30, the $40 game, and then like, I don't know. It doesn't add up after that. I don't know. I don't get it. It's like, I don't get it. It's like, what's adding up here that makes the fun edition $300? And not only that, we don't know a release date yet. So it's like, did people jump the gun on this? Like, did people actually go out and buy this? I mean, it's like, who knows? But even then, I know people are likely going to shell out for both of these editions. I just wish that they were priced better. Like, $149 just for the shiny edition that only comes with the SpongeBob figurine. That's the price of a regular collector's edition right there. I mean, that's like the price of almost the WWE 2K20 SmackDown collector's edition. Let me look that up, actually. 2K20 collector's edition, the SmackDown collector's edition, the SmackDown edition. Let's see. Well, obviously I can't find it now because, you know, it's oh, it was $129, but I mean, that was kind of reasonably, like, it had DLC and all that, but I don't know. I just don't see where it's adding up. I really don't. I just don't. Maybe if it was like maybe $100, then that would be a little bit more reasonable. But $150, I don't know. I just don't know. But that's the collector's editions for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I'm probably just gonna end up getting the standard edition, no matter how appealing that SpongeBob figure looks. It's just not worth like that much money. It's just too much, to be honest. The next random tidbit on my little list here is The Last of Us Part 2. Neil Druckmann, its director, like, announced the delay of the game until May 29th, 2020. It was originally supposed to come out in February, but again, it got delayed to May 29th, 2020. I find it weird that just a little over a month ago that this was revealed at the Sony Direct. You know, a little shot at the Nintendo Direct. But I find this odd that this was this was showcased at this was the main event of the Sony State of Play, and it was revealed that it was going to be released in February, and then here we are a month later that it's going to be delayed till at least 3 more months, until like the end of May. I mean, I don't have a problem with the delay. It's just like, still, why even bother like showcasing it? I mean, they could have showcased it, but then not revealed the release date. I mean, that would have been fine. That would have been okay. But then again, what if they're delaying? What if they're purposely delaying it for the PlayStation 5? What if they're doing like a remaster on the side, for the PlayStation 5? It's possible that they could be doing it, but who knows? But that is your weekly random tidbits for the week. Which was the shiny edition and the fun edition being announced for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, being announced on Wednesday, and then Last of Us Part 2 being delayed, which is fine by me, but those collector's editions for the Battle for Bikini Bottom, hard pass, man. Hard pass. Again, I'm a SpongeBob fan. I've watched SpongeBob for a lot of my childhood, but that's just too much. That is too much. Alright, now let's get into the big meat of today's live stream, which are... I've never done something like this, and I say that for a lot of my things. My unpopular gaming opinions. I had played video games since I was very little, like... Let's say of like 2002, 2003. Yeah, I was born in the late 1990s. But I've played video games since like I was around 4 or 5 years old. And obviously, even then, like growing up to like as I was growing up, I still felt I was a casual gamer, a core gamer, hardcore gamer. I still feel like I'm in the lines of between a casual core gamer. So again, these are just my opinions. These are just my thoughts on whatever I'm about to say. So, the first unpopular opinion, my first hot take of the day, is a common theme that I share on my main channel. By the way, go subscribe. Shameless plug. Nintendo Switch Online is a worthless piece of trailer park trash. It still is, even after 1 year. It's like, online multiplayer, that's still the same as it was for free. Check. NES and Super Nintendo games that were pretty much just used as excuses. Check. Cloud saves that don't work for a majority of games like Splatoon, Pokemon, Mario Maker 2. Check. No native voice chat, but instead we have to use a smartphone because Nintendo thinks that it's innovative everywhere. Check. Special offers that are designed for people to waste even more money, including overpriced NES controllers and a buy one get one 20% off deal. Check. The point I'm trying to make is, in all of this Nintendo Switch Online service BS, it's that it's not been nothing but a bust so far. It's been a big bust. like Nintendo hasn't even put like in the basic online features. Like, I love my Switch, but it's like I don't play online. It's not because I don't have friends or like people to play with, but it's just like they don't even have the basic features to make it even like simple to run. There's no dedicated servers. There's no native voice chat. If you don't know what native voice chat is, that's just pretty much like voice chat present on the console. You have to use like, again, the smartphone. There's no local backup saves that you can use your SD card for, like to put your saves on. There's no all-around cloud saving. Like, again, cloud saving doesn't work for all games. It only works for certain games. Offers that make you waste money instead of save money. Again, Nintendo wants that dough. And there's just a whole litany of issues that Nintendo doesn't want to address, aside from, again, the excuse of using Super Nintendo games. But then, like, even then, when are they going to add the SNES games? Have they even added a Super Nintendo game yet? It's like, when's the first one coming out? Like, okay, Nintendo Switch Online Super Nintendo game release. Okay. The games are coming to the server. Okay, well, the games have come out, but it's like a release time frame though. Like, has Nintendo even announced like when the next Super Nintendo game is coming? I don't think they even announced it. Like, they haven't said anything about the SNES like games in the Switch Online since it came out like the day of the Nintendo Direct back in September. What the hell are they doing? What are they doing? I mean, alongside the terrible service that it is, again, there's no basic features. Like, there's no simpler way to invite your friends to play games. There's no simpler way to send a friend request. We still got to use that complicated like friend codes. I don't know why Nintendo wants to do that. Again, they think it's innovative when it's not. There's no way to message your friends. There's no party chat. Again, if you don't want to hear people like screaming into their headset, Nintendo always can implement a mute button. It's always there. I don't know. It's almost 2020, people. It's like, I say this almost every time since the Switch Online service came out, since like last year. And I think it's going to be more important that they do. Like, I say this, like, when 2020 comes around. It's going to be make or break for the Nintendo Switch Online service in 2020. Because if they don't add even the simplest of features in the Nintendo Switch Online service, like the ones I mentioned, the native voice chat, the simpler friend invites and the simpler friend requests, the messaging system, the party chat, like the basics of how to run it online, I really don't see how people can stay subscribed. Even though people that are streaming like games that require the online service, how, like, I still don't know how like they manage to like play on an incompetent online service. I just don't. I really don't. But that's their money. That's that they want to waste. It's just baffling to me. All right, number 2. Oh man, I think going down this list, people are gonna hate me even more for my opinions. But again, these are just my opinions, and you can roast me for them for how you please. But this next one, you're gonna hate me a lot for it. I personally think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an overrated letdown. it's a big letdown. I think it doesn't really deserve the praise it gets. I did not like it. I thought it was overhyped. I thought it was disappointing. I just thought it was a letdown. I remember, like, when I was trying to decide whether or not to get it, I watched a bunch of gameplay. I watched a bunch of reviews. I was going to the mindset of maybe I should give this game a chance. But then when I played it, all my expectations, I even set them to a minimum standard. It went out the window. It completely went out the window. There are some positives, before I get into the bad. I like the story. I mean, that's the only thing, to be honest, that's the only thing I like about this. The story's fine. I like the little storyline of, Rex trying to take Pyra / Mithra, to Elysium, there was a sole purpose why. It was like to bring her home or something. But it was like them trying to like connect with one another. I like that little storyline there. But everything else after, like, beyond that, it's a drag. It's a drag. The gameplay, it's like a complete chore. Combat's too slow. It's sluggish. Sometimes very confusing, especially like when I was first playing it. It's like they're teaching me how to do combat arts, and a lot of times, like when I was first starting out, I was button mashing when I realized that they were doing the mashing for me. So it's just like I was sitting there pressing like different buttons like when I needed to. Yeah, I know, button like that's how it is with like a lot of games, like fighting games. Like, yep, it's like not like the combo games, but it's just like you strategically press it. But it's like that for a lot of fights. Like when you're fighting enemies in this game, it gets repetitive and boring. And traversing the big map is also a pain in the ass. It's I feel like it feels like I'm not getting anywhere. It's like I'm completely getting lost. The thing was with Breath of the Wild was Breath of the Wild had a big map, but at least I knew where I was going. Even before I managed to like unlock all the travel points, and at least there are a lot of nice sights in there, and at least I was able to sneak past by a lot of the enemies, unlike this game where my AI was just like, oh, we're gonna go attack head on the most significantly higher powered level enemy than we are and get our asses kicked. Dude, it's like, are you trying to get wrecked here? It's like very stupid. It's like the AI is literally programmed to, like, whenever an enemy is nearby and I'm just trying to, like, yes, I think experience points like were important in this game in order to like make your character stronger, but it's like, dude, I'm literally just trying to like get further into the story here, but it's just like they are when I'm not trying to fight an enemy at the moment, they like the AI, like it's whether it's I can't remember their names because I haven't played I'll be honest, I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles because I sold it. Okay, I sold it because of this. Like, not like this is just one of the reasons why, but the AI, all my allies just want to go, like, whenever there's an enemy nearby, they just want to go head on when they are at such a low level and get their butts kicked by a significantly higher monster or enemy or what have you. It's the stupidest shit. And another thing is, I know this is like a very small thing that I really don't care about. I know the voice acting is like not Nintendo's strongest suit, especially English translations. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like, I understand this. I understand. That's why it's a very small nitpick that I'm not gonna roast too hard. I just think that like the key moments in the game, like when Pyra is like, I'm sorry, there's gonna be like a little bit of a spoiler here. When Pyra like gets wrecked by there's so many characters in this, like by the bad guys, like, and I think it was the end of chapter 3 or 4, in that big fight, like you get a boss fight at the end of every chapter, but then it's like Rex goes to attack them, but he gets overpowered, but then when he's about to get killed again, Pyra turns into Mifra. So it's like, and it's like the voice acting in the English translation, it's like there's no emotion. So it's like all the key moments are just like, it's like it comes off as just cringe instead of like pure emotion, like as if maybe it's like if they tried that, it's like the lip syncing would be off, but even then it was like the lip syncing was off. Like, I don't know, but overall I just thought Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was like a downer. It's like a really disappointing game that I couldn't like get past the fourth like after chapter 4. Now you could say that I don't have any taste in like RPGs, and admittedly I do, but it's like there's no doubt that it's like it was just a bore fest, and I thought that was like completely overrated. Speaking of overrated, Fortnite is an overrated game that I have no care for. Personally, I think Fortnite is still like just a trend that will likely die out in the next like couple of years, by whatever the next big live service online game that there is. You can roast me for not playing a game of Fortnite in my life, but I actually did play 2 games of Fortnite in like an hour or 2, and I hated it. I did not like it. Not because I sucked at it, but because there's nothing to do. There's really nothing to do, especially when like you get killed. It's like, yes, you have the option to leave the match, but all you get to do was build, shoot, kill, and that's it. You get the point. Now, this was a year ago when Fortnite released like the date of the 2018 E3 Direct, but even then, it's just like still there was no interest in this game. It was just like the same repetitive shit. It's like they couldn't even make anything interesting in this. Before we continue into these opinions, I want to recommend you guys a video. I really want to recommend you guys a video by Ashley H. This popped up in my recommended. She talks about she's this you're gonna scratch your head for this too. And funny how I talked about this last week, ironically. She talks about how My Little Pony saved her life. I thought it was a really touching story. I don't want to spoil a lot of it or any of it, so I search up Ashley H in like using your YouTube search bar. Here, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up her channel right now. I just personally think it's like that video. The video was a really touching story. All right, let me see. No, don't see that. You guys don't need to see that. Okay. Let me switch windows here. Oh, here, Ashley H. Okay, so it's literally the second video, right here. Yeah, so right there. So go check that out. It's a really it's a really nice video that she did, like, and talks about like her struggles, and then how MLP pretty much like brought her back in a positive space. It's like, it was a really like nice video that she did. But anyway, back to this discussion about my hot takes on gaming. Shaq Fu. You all remember Shaq Fu, that game that came out in 1995 or something, when Shaq was in his prime, and he made a video, or he appeared in a video game. Oh yeah, let me exit out of that. When he appeared in a video game, and then the remake came out in 2018. Yeah, Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn. More like Shaqtin' a Fool, Idiots Reborn. But hear me out a bit. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this too. Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn was not a bad game. Like, it's not as bad of a game as people make it out to be, or like review it. It's not bad. Now, you could say I have a terrible taste in games, but maybe I do, maybe I don't, but it's not too bad. Yes, it does get repetitive, because it's a beat 'em up game, you know. It's like kind of like Bayonetta, but it's just like pretty much just punch people to death. But it's like, what makes it not too bad for me, it's how absurd it is. It's like how corny it is. The story, it's alright. It's like Shaq trying to avenge his mentor and the person that adopted him, and it's like, it's been a while since I played Shaq Fu, and whatever the story was, it was just like, it was just ridiculous. But the fourth wall breaks and the product placement, especially when Shaq turns into a cactus, and Shaq Diesel. Oh my gosh. And Icy Hot. There was an Icy Hot power up. And it was like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, and then there's this one moment where before his mentor passed. I use "passed" in air quotes because I'm gonna get to it a little bit. It's like, he mentioned the importance of gold bond, and if you don't know what gold bond is, it's pretty much a skincare product that Shaquille O'Neal endorses in. Yeah, it's endorsed by Shaq. It's really endorsed by Shaquille O'Neal, and it's like they really express the importance of it. It's like freaking ridiculous. It wasn't even better from there. You also had if you bought the physical version, like my crazy ass did, you also got the Barack Obama DLC that came with the physical copy of the game, and it pretty much took you in the day of the life of Barack Obama. Or yeah. And the ending of it, the ending scene was like, Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I want some of that. But personally, Shaq Fu was not that bad. And it's DLC. It was just like, shit. It was not too bad. It was not too bad. Alright, the next opinion, I'm actually gonna jump, from this one, because I don't really have too much to say on this one. I think it was, last week that, I think it was either this week or last week. Yeah, I think it was last week that Sora for Smash was trending, and I honestly thought to myself, I think Crash Bandicoot has a much higher chance than Sora does to get in Smash. Now, that is my next hot take right there. But hear me out. Hear me out. Just because Crash Bandicoot has a higher, like, I don't know how I'm saying this. Just because Crash Bandicoot has a much higher chance for representation than Sora does, it's still, I mean, it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean Sora is ever gonna be in Smash. Sora is the top pick in like fan polls and like the ballot voting and like Reddit, Twitter, what have you, posts. But there's still one problem, whether people like it or not, when it comes to Sora in like possible inclusion to Smash. How much is Nintendo willing to pay the big D, and how much Sora will be impacted, if any D references are there or not there. And who is this big D? Well, if you play Kingdom Hearts, or at least heard of it, you know which big D I'm talking about. Disney. Like Disney has expressed, Square Enix has expressed, yes, they do want Sora in Smash. They just say that it's up to Nintendo to do it. But even then, it's just like what, like how much is Nintendo willing to like shell out for Sora to be in there? It's like you can have all these moves with Sora in it without all the Disney references, like the heel, the Keyblade. Sakurai can work around that, but it's just like a lot of Kingdom Hearts is revolved around Disney. It's specifically a collaborative effort between Disney and Square Enix. Sakurai does not half-ass people. Like, I mean, he kind of half-assed with Cloud, but it's like that wasn't his fault. That was Square Enix being a half-ass. Yeah. So if Sakurai wanted Sora so bad, you know he wants him as faithful to what he truly is as possible, and it's just a matter of how much Disney is willing to give him and how much Nintendo is willing to pay that price for Sora in there with the Disney references, if there's going to be any. That's the thing. Now, on the other hand, Crash Bandicoot would be a tad easier. I say tad because, like with Disney, how much would Nintendo pay Activision for like resources for Crash to be in Smash? We all want Nintendo or Crash to be in Smash, like your boy right here. But again, you know, like Activision and Nintendo are kind of buddy, kind of. Again, it's just a matter of how much Nintendo is willing to pay and how much resources Activision is willing to give them. Like, for example, how much music from the Crash series is Activision gonna give them? How many spirit characters are gonna be in there? Is Sakurai gonna be able to make a character like Coco as an alternate skin for Crash? There's a lot of things to consider here. So, a lot of people are raving for one character and the other, and this is the same for Crash and Sora. But I just think Crash has the higher chance if we're gonna pick characters for the final fighter pass, or for the final fighter in the first fighter pass. Now, again, this doesn't mean that Sora is not gonna get in, but it's just that you have to take Disney into account, and how much Nintendo is willing to pay for all those Disney resources. So I just personally think Crash is going to be the next one up for representation. Now let's get back into let's step back a bit and talk about our favorite game of the year, WWE 2K20. WWE 2K20. Now, this game came out on Tuesday. Everyone's been raving it, loving it, and it's been hot garbage with a lot of love in that garbage. But let's throw all the reviews out the window so far. So, and let's talk about what was talked about the weekend before it came out. So, the Breakfast Club of WWE 2K YouTubers, I don't want to mention by name, but they talked about, no, I don't want to mention them by name yet, but the 2K YouTuber, WWE 2K YouTubers Breakfast Club, uploaded videos that, like, there were a lot of, like, honesty videos, on the game. Now, why am I using honesty, in such a, like, kind of a not so optimistic way here? It's because it's kind of like, well, let me gather my thoughts here for a bit. It's because while these YouTubers did give proper warning, like, and they cited just about everything that turned out to be true, like, and a lot more days later, and they, like, this was an early build, but, like, turns out the game that did come out, like, felt like the early build of the game. It felt too late. It felt late. It felt like, why wasn't this done a lot sooner than it should have been? It's like, especially, like, when you get the pre-motion, like, you get the pre-census that they might be talking about the exact same thing. Like, if you just look at their thumbnails, here, let's search up WWE 2K20 honest thoughts, and the first, like, literally the first 5 thumbnails here. Let's pull up the window again. The first 5 thumbnails you see are people doing the exact same pose. Like, it doesn't add up when you at least first see it. But then when you get to the actual, like, video, like, at least they talk about what actually came to light. No, don't get me wrong, but it's like you get that first impression. It's like, did 2K purposely tell these YouTubers to tell the world that our game sucks ass because we're doing this exact same pose? Like, here's my Switch Pro controller. It's like, oh. But nonetheless, you know what? I keep putting my notes up for some reason, so you know what everything's gonna be said. But let's just listen to some of these things here. Let's listen to quick. Let's listen to some of these things that these guys had to say. I thought, like, this first popped up to me, like, when it first came out, and I just wanted to, like, share this, and let's take a look at our first person. This is the Dank. Oh, dang it. Okay. All right, here we go.
Influencers. I hate that word. It makes me. I hate that word. To test out the new 2K game. So shout out to them for allowing me to have that.
Chris is not a bad guy.
So before we start,
I like his content.
Let me say this. I
haven't watched too much of his recent content though.
Who wears my heart on my sleeve. You can tell by my level of excitement about something how I feel about it. And I am not happy to say
a lot of the honesty videos that I saw started off with that
is very low. I'm gonna go over why, and as always, I'm gonna be as open and honest as I can about how I felt. I have a lot of notes here on my phone, so you might see me glancing over this because I know a lot of people aren't super into the fantasy zombie fire stuff, and like I get it, but I've always liked that type of stuff. So like I kind of knew from when they announced this that I was probably gonna dig it. A lot of the zombie characters, however, are a little unnecessary, and some of the arenas aren't as interactive as others. Like the boiler room is kind of just a room, whereas like the graveyard area
they kind of had potential.
Has a lot of really
that was my biggest problem. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, like that's what I didn't like about last year's too. They locked Ronda Rousey behind a paywall when she was already in the WWE main roster, and now this year they locked Bray Wyatt behind a paywall when he was already on the main roster, and he had the Fiend gimmick already. It's like, what are they doing here? It's like why?
Stuff you can interact with, like the book and the tombstones and that type of stuff. There's a car there, so some areas definitely got a lot more love than other areas. But overall, 2 necessary change, and they said it was to help new players get into the game and kind of streamline the control system. But I would argue that having certain things be like multiple buttons, like the finishers and the OMGs, and having to use the right trigger as like a modifier for a lot of things, that actually is going to make things more difficult for new players, and definitely seems less streamlined than they would maybe like to think that it is. Necessarily longer. I'm glad the women got a feature spot this year, like the 4 Horsewomen, their whole story. They're definitely deserving of a showcase, but the mode itself is one that just never really excited me. You know, like,
yeah, the problem I had with 2K Showcase, like even like back in 2K15, was that it just could never replicate the real match. Now, you can argue that would be the same thing with like the 30 years of WrestleMania, the Attitude Era mode back in WWE 13, but the 2K Showcase mode like felt really slow, as well the WWE 2K games always are. It just never was able to replicate it. And my biggest complaint about the showcase mode, like especially with this, like this one, like they don't have the original commentators on it. It's like, okay, let's do a little bit of research right here. Who was the commentator for NXT TakeOver? The very first one. Well, I don't know why it doesn't say here, but it had to be someone, right? Yeah, it had to be someone. Here, Fatal 4-Way. It doesn't even say here either. Our Evolution. I'm trying to here NXT commentary. They purposely did this. No, I'm just kidding. But oh, here, WWE NXT. There we go. Commentators. Oh, maybe it was because I don't know. Look at this rotation. I mean, Tom Phillips. Or damn, this is a lot of rotating commentators here. But it's just like Tom Phillips was there in NXT back in 2014. I guess this Rich Brennan guy's not there, but you could have at least had Tom Phillips like do the showcase mode. William Regal was there. Byron Saxton is clearly in the game. But it's just like, really? You couldn't try to at least somewhat replicate this? You had to go out and use Michael Cole. It's like, come on, people. The little details matter here. The little details matter. So what else did Chris complain about?
Added this year, it's weird that like you don't have an Inferno match, but you have an arena that's completely surrounded by fire and flames and lava and stuff.
Oh,
or
this
a
he's talking about the
match or a buried alive match when
like
you
the
have
weird
actual
arenas.
zombies in the game. Or for the love of baby Jesus, special friggin'
Yeah, what happened to that match?
Moving on. Like a special referee, is it that hard? Like, is it really? Let me stop. Oh, here's something good. Career mode seems like it's gonna be pretty fun this year. Some people had some things on social media to say about career mode, and I get it. I played about the first hour of it, so who knows where it's gonna go from there. Yes, the writing is a little corny and a little another word that I hate, a little cringy. Ugh, I hate that word. But as like goofy as it is, I enjoyed what I played through so far. Again, only the first hour. That's always my favorite mode every year.
I really don't like the writing though.
That's a surprise to people. That's all on ski, whatever her name is, was not. But supposedly that is going to make its way back into the game, and fingers crossed. All
right, so let's listen to another one.
Hair physics are awful. No collision detection in entrances. I mean, there's just a lot of underlying issues. Like, just you've seen it. You've seen Asuka's hair coming off in the picture.
Oh yeah, the glitches.
You've seen Bianca Belair's hair physics.
Are a joke.
You've seen
in this
Charlotte's
game.
hair refusing to go backwards. You've seen Eddie Guerrero walk through the wall in the Halloween Havoc arena. You know, you've seen all this stuff. You saw it. You might not have played it, but you saw it. And this obviously is because Yuke's left. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. 2K was not prepared for Yuke to leave.
It's still no excuse, though.
With a shit table full of garbage. And, like, they just had to siphon through all of it and hope to God they found something that worked, because that's all they could do. This game already struggled on a year-to-year basis with Ukes.
Exactly. There's no excuse.
What do you got now? Now you just got, you're definitely not going to get anywhere, you know? There's no way with Ukes out of the equation now that they could have turned this around and made a better game because Ukes left. They had to rewrite, they literally had to rewrite all the code for this game from square one.
There was literally no excuse for 2K. Like, Ukes left because maybe some disagreements like with something to put in the game, or like what game direction to take the game. But even then, like, look at after 2K17, like 2K18, yeah, they implemented a new graphics engine. But so how does this make the game more fun? They added something new to My Career. They added a backstage area to My Career. Boy, that's gonna be certainly interesting. But as I watched Chris Denker's My Career series, that stuff got repetitive real fast. It really did. I'm sure he had fun with it, but it got repetitive real fast. Also, the show, like, again, a lot of these YouTubers repeat the same stuff, like the glitches, and all that, but they give their own opinions. But you get the point. You get the point. It's like, I just think that this comes 4 years too late. it still comes way too late. I don't know why they didn't say anything like when they around, especially after the mess that we got with 2K18 on the Switch. I know, like, when I watched Chris's 2K18 Switch video, he was brutally honest with that game. But like 2K, I feel like 2K18 should have been the final like straw that broke the camel's back. But I don't know. I just think that this is too late. Like, I think when I was reading it, I don't know, it was here, that 2K and WWE and Visual Concepts still are under contract to develop more WWE games till 2025 with the transitional console agreement that lasts to 2021. So pretty much like after 2021, like they can start making like WWE games for the next gen consoles, like the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Scarlet, and all that. So it's like, damn, it's like, it's still pathetic that despite them being honest, it's like, it's just too late for it. It's just too little too late. And even with their honesty, 2K is not gonna give a shit. It's like, look at the crap that NBA 2K20 is dealing with. Look at all the bugs and glitches that they're dealing with, and a patch that's gonna be due in like 2 weeks. Like 2K, like the official 2K20 incident is the official 2K20 page is stated. This is what they said. We are listening closely to the feedback that's been shared regarding 2K20 and are aware of the concerns some players are reporting. We're working hard to investigate these concerns and addressing them as necessary. We expect to have initial patch ready in the next 2 weeks, with others to follow. Again, too little, too late. But maybe, like, even then, like, as history has indicated, these patches haven't really done anything to fix the problems with WWE games. And as a wrestling fan, I love these games, but it's just really hard to support them when you got like Brazzers roasting the shit about WWE, and now they're roasting the WWE games. It's just sad to see. It's just sad to see. And now it's like people are asking for refunds, and even Sony went out of their way to grant refunds. It's like, it's a messy situation. It's a messy situation. So hopefully, like, I don't know if people will even like try to not buy WWE 2K21 next year because of the mess that was 2K20. There's literally no excuse for like 2K20, like in the state it's in. There really isn't. I just feel like when Ukes left, they should have canceled the game, or like it was like even delaying it wouldn't have done anything better. It's like it should have been canceled. Like, should have just saved it for next year, because realistically, 2K21 is likely, like, it's at most gonna be on the PlayStation, maybe on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet, maybe. If not, at most 2K22, but that's like in 2 years. But still, like Pulse said, there was no excuse for this. There was no excuse for this, especially when Ukes was doing was trying to do their best work, but was so restricted because of 2K. Like, and they actually managed to get their worst work because of 2K. And now they're gone. And now there's no excuses left. It's just Visual Concepts and 2K, who are now housed with NBA and WWE. So there are no excuses left. And if 2K21 is as big of a shit show that as WWE 2K20, then I think people seriously need to start considering finding another game to play. I really do. Now, I think that was the longest hot take that I had today. Now, we can move on to the other ones. I prefer single player games over multiplayer games. That's a small hot take, but I'll take it. I will take it. And that's because many, like, I kind of used to like multiplayer back in the day. Like when I was younger, I remember playing with my cousins. Like we got around the TV. Like I remember I used to bring my PlayStation 2 around, and like hooked up the controllers, and like we would just play like, let's say a game of I guess a game of like Mortal Kombat, Armageddon, Shaolin Monks, and we even do the 2-player of San Andreas, the multiplayer in San Andreas, with just us like screwing around and all that. It was like, of course, like things change in the future, but even then, you get games like Mario Kart 8, Crash Team Racing, Smash Bros Ultimate, like that still have the local multiplayer option. But it's like multiplayer games today, it's just they rely on the Fortnite model or like the current Call of Duty model. It's like the live service model, what have you. It's like where people play for daily rewards, they grind to attain the next best cosmetic. Some of them are fun, are nice, like the ones I see in Crash Team Racing, because I am a Crash fan right away. Or it's like they grind for the actually beneficial item in the shop that's takes you hours or even days to obtain. Or they even like, if they really have money that they want to waste, or they're really desperate, they use real money to shortcut their way to the top without having any skill level. And that's the problem. And that's the problem with like multiplayer games today. It's a trend, as it's like games as a trending live service, and a lot of it's repetitive. It's like I said with Fortnite, shoot and kill your way to victory, and like it's like you also get very little reward for it. It's like you get very little reward. It's like, oh, you got the final kill? Well, here you go. We'll just give you like a very basic Fortnite skin that does the basic dance. Or you win a race in Mario Kart doesn't have this, but I'll just use it as an example. Mario Kart. Oh, you want to race at first place in Mario Kart? Oh, here's a loot box that gives you the most basic items in the game. It's just like repetitive multiplaying with very little incentive to come back, unless if you don't have anything else to play. It's just a sad reality, and this is why I like single player games so much more. Again, it's not because I don't have friends or I hate playing with other people. It's just that they offer more in terms of content, short term and long term. Even if they're completed once, there's a possibility I could come back to it when I either don't have anything else to do, completed everything that I had, or I just don't have money. As I mentioned with my previous, my next opinion, I put previous in my notes because I keep jumping around to it. I was gonna get to like these key elements in single player games are why I keep coming back to them. Story, gameplay, 100% completion. Did you know I completed GTA San Andreas like 3-4 times? I 100%ed that son of a bitch like 3 times. Yeah. That's like nothing to brag home about, but it's like it's just such a good game. Doing side missions, I mean, like even if you're like an RPG player, I mean, it's not my thing, but there's just like there's a lot to do in like those kind of games. But it's just, my point is, there is a lot of long-term value to a single-player game that is a multiplayer game. Now, if we're talking local multiplayer, like a Smash or a Mario Kart, or let's say Crash Team Racing, or even like an older Mortal Kombat game, not the Mortal Kombat 11 or the like the older Call of Duties, like there's value in it. There is value in it because, like, let's say Fortnite shuts down today. Let's say their server shut down today. Let's say if their server shut down, if there's no more rewards for that game, or there's no deals on like coin happening for that kind of game, then there's no incentive, there's no value to come back to it. It's just buried. It just becomes pointless to own on your console. Now, to counterpoint that, to be fair, not all single player games offer a huge amount of content. Like, say for example, the Shaq Fu game. Like, once you finish that game, like, if you bother to, there's not really much to do after that. Like, to be honest, you just play it and then you're done with it. But at least there are still many out there that offer a variety of content that people can like play at least replay 2 to 3 times. Like, again, there's the story, there's the gameplay, you can look for the different kinds of Easter eggs that you see on YouTube. You can do the side missions. You can, if you're really hardcore, you can go complete the game 100%. There's just a lot of replay value in single player games. Now, I'm reaching the last of my few points here, and I feel like it's something that you should, like, a lot of gamers should hear, because, like, I think it's something that, we as gamers tend to forget about. And, like, one of the last unpopular opinions for this show is I care very little about graphics, as long as the game is fun, as long as it has potential to be a classic. That's all that matters. It's like, if graphics and power mean everything in the world to you, good for you. Good for you. If you like having a sexy game, if you like seeing, a thing, that thing in 4K, good on you. I'm just saying, a game can look nice. It can look very nice. WWE 2K19, WWE 2K18, and WWE 2K20. Seriously, a game can look very nice. It can have all these wonderful set pieces, and it can have a very nice character model. But it can all be put to shame if everything else in the game is shit. It can be all put to bed if everything else in the game is boring as hell. Yeah, we live in the world where game developers try to make the game as good as possible, but it's just like they tend to forget, like most of them, not all of them, tend to forget the fact that they tend to forget the most important thing that makes a game fun in the first place: the gameplay, what's important in the game. I have fun in almost half of all the games I play because of a specific gameplay feature, what's present in the game. Again, as I mentioned, story, game modes, mini games, a specific feature in the game. Those things to me in the game are make or break in regards to whether or not a game will be great or a game will be really crappy. Here's an example. The reason why I come back to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and why that game is so high on my list as a top 10 game is because even though it's like a really old game, there's just so much content that you can do. Forget GTA 5, to be honest. It's like that microtransaction bullshit. It's like San Andreas had so much more to offer. Yes, it is a 15-year-old game, but it had a story. Now it has memes. It has a good character arc. It has the cheats. It has like what GTA 5 developed on, the clothing shops, the tattoos, the haircuts. It had gambling, it had side missions, it had races, it had flight school, bike school, car school, it even had boating school. Yeah, we got SpongeBob references in there. It even had dating in the game. Yes, it had dating. So it's like that game was like the most feature complete game. Yeah, there are some flaws to it, of course, but like to me, I come back to San Andreas because it's like it was the most fun to me. It's the most fun game I've ever played, no matter how many times I played it. So as long as a game is fun to you, like whatever it offers, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And we wrap it up today's DylanLasagna Live with a long-lasting hot take that I think people should take in consideration. It's okay. It's okay to play the games you love and care about, and it's okay how you play them. So what I mean by that is like starting with how you play them, or like how you play your games is, for example, if you play the game at a lower difficulty, if you play it on an easier difficulty, I mean, there are some people that are going to judge you, but it's like at the end of the day, it's your decision. It's like you may have your reasons where it's to like follow the story more in depth without like getting triggered at dying in game all the time, but it's your decision. It's your decision. It's like another example is like you just want to mess around in game, and it's like in an open world game like GTA, you just want to like mess around, cause havoc or what have you, or it's like you don't play you play a different style than what your friends or like other competitive players do in Smash. That's fine too. That's fine too. At the end of the day, it's what matters. It's what matters to you. Of course, like obviously, it doesn't hurt to like throw in a challenge there once in a while, but it's like you're gonna truly love games if you like balance it out and play the way that you want to play. Now, if someone bashes you for playing X game, just don't frown upon yourself because you don't play the game. You don't play the game that person is playing. Sorry, if someone bashes you for playing the game you're currently playing, don't frown on yourself because they're likely playing the game that they are blindly caring about so they can be part of the trend. Be proud of the games you play. Like, yes, even the games that are part of the trend. If you love playing those games, That's fine. If you love playing the games I just bashed on in this live stream, Xenoblade, Fortnite, the WWE 2K games, that's fine too. It's all a subjective opinion. That's my opinion. At the end of the day, we're all just gamers. We love to play the games we play, and not one person, not me, is gonna change your mind about it. If you love, like, again, if you love playing the games everyone doesn't talk about too much, that's fine. There are games that people will play simply for clicks and views, and to trend. Eventually, it's gonna get tiring. I already know one. I came across a YouTuber that I followed, like heavily, like back in 2018, and I found out he quit YouTube because he was burnt out. Like he was burnt out and just decided to do Twitch full time. I'm not gonna name that person, but it kind of like came out like I didn't know this, like, but it is what it is. So good luck to that person. I hope he does well. But again, it's like these are like the games that people play are the games that people really like. It's like because it's the games that developers put their time into. It's what they really like. It's what they really want to play. And I play a lot of games that people often don't play. That's like the Crash games, a little bit of Smash. I mean, people play Smash, but I don't play it like hardcore. What else do I play? Currently, I play a lot of Switch games. Excuse me. I also play a lot of smaller titles, and I even go back to my retro collection, like from the PlayStation 1 days. So it's perfectly fine to do that. And if people have a problem with it, with games that others do or don't play, too bad for them. Too bad for them. Because while it's nice to expand your game sphere, it's spherical. It's also nice to play the games that you truly love. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Alright, everyone. That's going to be it for this week's episode of DylanLasagna Live. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a breather discussion. Meaning that it was just more of like gaming, and like that's kind of the heavy emphasis on this channel, wrestling and gaming. And I kind of wanted to do this video, or kind of do this live stream, because I kind of like when it comes to gaming, like I am a kind of like in between the casual and hardcore. More on the casual side though, so obviously you can't take what I said as fact, but it's like I just wanted to express what I say on here. But anyway, make sure you like, dislike the stream, leave a comment if you're watching the replay. I appreciate all of you that do come to these streams, whether you're watching it live or watching the replay. It's all the replays will always be up after the streams are done, depending on how long they are. Again, leave a comment if you're watching the replay. Leave all your final thoughts in the chat if you're still watching live. Tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss when DylanLasagna Live is up. Next week, there's a little bit of uncertainty in regards to DylanLasagna Live, because I'm gonna be working at a conference next week. I'm gonna be working a conference next week, and I'm probably not gonna be home till like after around after showtime, like, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be having a show that week or if I'm gonna just hold it off till Saturday or maybe even Sunday. I really don't want to do a Sunday show because it's just like that's my rest day. But maybe I'll do like a late Friday show or a late Saturday show because I'm doing I'm attending like a weekend long conference because I'm working there. But just stay tuned for updates on my Twitter and on the main channel community page. So that's why I'm working to increase the to grow this live stream for all of you new and returning subscribers from my main channel. Just stay tuned to my community page, community tab on the main channel. For those of you new, go subscribe there. I have a lot of good content on there, but go definitely check out the community post that on a pending update on whether or not there will be a Dylan Lasagna live next week. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, that's gonna be it for tonight's Dylan Lasagna live. And as always,
y'all take it easy. I'm out.
Always be delicious, and I will see you all next time. And I am out.